Some children learned very early that love felt safer when they were quiet, when they didn't complain, when they didn't ask for too much. Maybe that child was you. You were the one adults praised, the responsible one, the mature one for your age. People looked at you and said things like, "Why can't other kids be more like you?" But what no one asked was why you were trying so hard to be good in the first place. Because sometimes the good child isn't actually okay. They're just careful. Careful not to be a burden. Careful not to upset anyone. Careful not to lose the little approval they learned to depend on. And years later, that child grows up. But something inside still feels responsible for everyone else's happiness. Let's talk about why. Imagine a child sitting at the dinner table. The parents are stressed. Bills are piling up. Arguments happen often. The child notices everything. They notice the tension in the room, the sighs, the silence. So they make a quiet decision. They'll be easy. They won't add to the chaos. They won't cause trouble. They'll be the good one. And at first, it seems like a strength. Teachers love them. Parents rely on them. Family members praise them. You're so mature. But something important is happening beneath the surface. That child is learning a very powerful rule. Love is safer when I don't have needs. Pause for a moment and think about that. How many times did you hold something in because you didn't want to make things harder for someone else? How many times did you tell yourself, "It's okay. I'll deal with it"? The good child becomes the emotional shock absorber for everyone around them. They become the helper, the peacekeeper, the one who understands everyone while no one really understands them. And over time, something strange begins to happen. They stop asking for things, not because they don't need them, but because needing things feels uncomfortable, almost wrong. Children are incredibly intelligent when it comes to reading emotional environments. If a child senses that love becomes unstable when they express anger, they hide their anger. If they notice that asking for attention annoys adults, they stop asking. If they see that being quiet brings praise, they become quiet. And this works, at least for a while. But years later, that same child grows into an adult who struggles with something they can't quite explain. They struggle to say no. They apologize too much. They feel guilty for resting. They feel responsible for other people's feelings. And when someone asks them what they need, their mind goes blank. Because for so long, their needs were the last thing they were allowed to think about. Have you ever felt uncomfortable when someone was upset with you, even if you did nothing wrong? Have you ever tried to fix someone's mood, even when it wasn't your job? Have you ever felt like being too much might make people leave? If that sounds familiar, you might still be carrying the invisible rules of the good child. But here's the twist. The world praises the good child. It rewards them. People trust them, depend on them, admire them. So the child grows up believing that this role is their identity. I'm the strong one. I'm the reliable one. I'm the one who holds everything together. But strength can sometimes hide exhaustion. Because constantly being the strong one means rarely being allowed to fall apart. And that's where the hidden trauma begins. Not in loud, obvious ways, but in quiet habits. Like feeling guilty when someone helps you. Like overthinking every small mistake. Like believing that your value comes from how useful you are to others. The good child learns to earn love through responsibility. But real love was never supposed to work like that. Real love isn't something you have to deserve by being perfect. And here's something many good children don't realize until much later. The people around them often never ask them to carry that much weight. The child simply learned to because it felt safer. But safety built on silence has a cost. It creates adults who struggle to rest. Adults who feel anxious when they're not being productive. Adults who care deeply for others but struggle to care for themselves. And yet, something powerful happens when the good child finally notices this pattern. They start asking a new question. What if I don't have to be perfect to be loved? What if I'm allowed to have needs? What if being human is enough? That realization can feel uncomfortable at first. Because when you've spent years being the responsible one, letting yourself be vulnerable feels almost dangerous. But it's also the beginning of something healthier. The good child doesn't have to disappear. Your empathy, your awareness, your ability to understand others, those are real strengths. But they don't have to come at the cost of yourself. You can still be kind without carrying everyone's emotions. You can still be responsible without sacrificing your peace. And you can still be loved even on the days when you're not holding everything together. So if you were the good child growing up, the quiet one, the responsible one, the one who tried to make life easier for everyone else, there's something important you deserve to hear. You were never supposed to carry all of that alone. And the person you're becoming now is finally allowed to put some of that weight down.
Before you leave, if this video helped you understand yourself a little better, then this channel was made for you. We talk about the hidden psychology behind quiet personalities, emotional strength, and the things most people never notice about themselves. So if you enjoy this kind of content, consider subscribing. And if you want to understand another powerful psychological trait that many people misunderstand, click the video on your screen now. Why silent people are often the most powerful. You might see yourself in ways you never expected.